You mentioned that basically you were in Iran 2 months ago?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming you have contacts, family, and
Yeah.
whatnot. So how's the feeling in Iran after the 12-day war?
It's a very good question. I want to have, as usual, I want to have a little bit of a long introduction to it. These Mossad Persian accounts, what a cheap and weird way and pathetic way to use your country's resources, not your country's, but Palestinians' resources and the American taxpayer money to have all these like common Persian speaking tweets, Twitter accounts. I mean, it's a clear, again, if this happens, if Russia does this to Canadians, it's a classic case of foreign interference, right? Classic. But no, we don't see it that way. So they keep speaking to the Iranian people. And I cannot hold myself. Sometimes I go and like write to them. But one of the things I wanted to write to them, and I don't know if I did, I don't remember, but it was like, dude, next time, come to me for consultations, because the people that are giving you consultations, they don't know the country well. This is what happens, and this is the answer to your question. We dissent. It's our thing. Then we see bodily anguish or corporeal anguish, and we recede, because what matters is for us to survive. And then if we see mass corporeal anguish, sanctions is a different story, but if we see bombs, we unite. And you got it all wrong. I wanted to write to the Mossad, like the Twitter, like, you invested on the first level, which is we descend. And you got it all wrong, all of this operation. And you didn't know that when we are faced with bombs, we unite. Because I'm a child of war, and I remember. And yes, there were a lot of betrayals, incredible, heinous acts that were done by the MEK. But survival is our thing. So, you know, as a dissident, I was one of them, and I knew that we would unite. So I was very clear on that. But this rise of patriotism is beautiful, but for me, it's kind of like, yes. And I don't know if you've noticed, but so many people, so many Iranian dissidents sort of like started saying, what the hell are you doing, that are siding with Israel? Like, come on, it's a foreign entity invading our country. So suddenly things shifted. And I think the reason why they made a mistake and sort of like mistakenly created modes of resistance instead of people giving up, is that they look at the world in a very Orientalist perspective. And I think you might actually like this. What do I mean by Orientalism here? Is that you only look at the world from like a frame that you see. Like, for example, Arabs are beautiful belly dancers, right? Iranians are people who have long hair and black eyes and are very beautiful, etc. It's a very particular gaze that you have.
They work on their carpet for 100 years. Yes, exactly.
And then one of the modes of interpretation, which I find hilarious, is that they're like, Iranians, Shiite thought loves martyrdom. The Hassan of Alamut, they all love to be, they want to sacrifice their lives. So we're going to make it to the point that they sort of like the opposition sacrifices its lives. And I'm like, no. You are mistaking the Iranian government and its following that has a Shiite mentality of martyrdom, and you're imposing that on the opposition that watches Friends and wants to go to coffee shops and doesn't have that ideology. Dude, you're getting this wrong. You're investing on the wrong thing. Yes, you're emptying our brains, definitely. You're hollowing out our thinking. But you're not going to make regime change through this. It doesn't happen.